I guess the message here is pretty clear. Goodbye reduced cost CP perks. Now this is not 100% confirmed, but well, actually it's pretty sure they're going to remove it, because Zenimax is kind of tired with the way how you can manage your resources in Elder Scrolls Online, or rather not manage your resources because you don't fucking have to anymore because of those champion points. So now what they're doing is they're completely removing the magician and the warlord and just replace it with something more useless, let's say it like this. There has been a lot of uproar on the forums or everywhere. I have got a lot of questions about those champion perks. And yes, like, it always sucks when your character gets weaker, right? On the other hand, it also sucks that you actually don't have to manage your resources. Because currently, both in PvP and PvE, resource management with champion points is basically non-existent. Because whether you're in heavy armor or whatever, like, you don't, even in heavy armor, you don't really need to manage your resources, and you will still be able to sustain without any problems. Now, the non-champion points campaign, for example, is something completely different. There you actually have to manage your resources. Is this a game-breaking change or not? Well, maybe, but on the other hand, I mean, it's 16% cost reduction that is going away. They actually also reduced the recovery thingy, they lowered it a little bit, but I mean, that's a less impactful change. Now, like, what are we supposed to do when they remove this kind of thing? Sure, maybe we have to invest a little bit more into cost reduction or recovery. I myself do think it is a good change, simply because people actually have to use their brains again to manage the resources. Back before the champion points were introduced, resource management was a key aspect of the game. Once the champion points came out, it was just like not that important anymore, and that's why we see endless fights in PvP and completely overpowered DPS in PvE, because we always have endless resources. Now, with this change, actually, you might, first off, I think build diversity comes up a little bit more, because some people might want to invest more into cost reduction while others more into damage. So whether you play shorter fights or longer fights, you might want to change certain things. Sure, in PvE you will lose DPS most likely, but I for myself think we have too much DPS anyway, and the main reason is champion points, because it's just like the more we get, the stronger our characters get, and the content stays the same, right? All the content is made for a 300 champion points level thingy. So we are at like 600 now, like we are way too strong. The game, the dungeons, the trials are not made for 600 CP players. They're made for 300 CP players. So now either Zenimax can increase the difficulty of the dungeons, but then all the low level CP players will be fucked, or they can just change champion points and make them less impactful for the gameplay. Now PvP wise, I mean, some people are already used to less cost reduction because of the non-champion points campaign. Even in the champion points campaign, I do think it's a good thing. First off, it might make the heavy armor builds less powerful, because currently there isn't, everybody's in fucking heavy armor, okay? Let's put it like this. Also another thing, like making the champion points less impactful to the overall gameplay, both for PvP and PvE, makes it also easier for newer players to actually kind of compete with older players. Like, sure, there should be some advantages because you put a lot of time into the game, but at the moment the champion points is just too much. Like, you have this cost reduction, you have like 25% more damage, more crit damage, and all that stuff. And for some weird reason, like, I also don't know why, but the more champion points you have, the more resources you get, right? Like, I'm not sure how much it is. When you compare 0 champion points to like 600, you get like 4 or 5k stamina, something like that, or magicka. No fucking clue why. Like, why is this kind of thing here? I, in my opinion, do still think the champion points are way too strong.
Really?
And most problems, especially balance problems, are due to the champion points. So I wouldn't even be surprised if they even nerf them further. On the other hand, I also do think once Morrowind launches, Zenimax needs to be ready. Because the Morrowind launch will make or break the game. There will be so many new players, the servers will most likely go rip anyway. But then, after Morrowind, if they keep doing all those very, like, those fatal changes, people will be upset. I mean, people are already upset. But when Morrowind comes, there will be a shit ton of new players, and if they screw it up with the new players, they will just leave, and then it's just a missed opportunity. Because Morrowind nostalgia is something really heavy, and there will be a shit ton of new players. Sure, at the beginning they maybe won't understand champion points and all that kind of stuff, but as we know, Zenimax more or less changes, like updates the game every 3 to 6 months. So after 3 or 6 months they want to do more changes, it will again upset people a lot. I myself like the nerf. Sure, it sucks to lose power, but on the other hand it also gives you another challenge. You have to change your build a little bit and all that stuff. You don't completely have to rewind, like redo your build. It's just some minor changes. So you will not have to farm new gear or something like that. That's not the problem. It's just we will need to get used to this kind of new setup first. Now, let me know in the comment section below what do you think about those changes. Thank you for watching and see you soon. Cheers.